Well, if you're like everybody else, as the weather gets nicer, you want to head outside. What you don't want is to be bothered by ticks and disease-carrying mosquitoes. So we are here today with Rich Gary. He is from the Ohio Department of Health, and he is an entomologist who knows better than anyone else about what we need to worry about, what we should be avoiding this summer. Good to have you here. Let's talk ticks. Number one, people are very concerned about ticks, and obviously we're concerned for Lyme disease, and we are hearing more and more about it in Ohio.
Right, because we have a tick in Ohio that we used to not see here. It's called the black-legged tick. This is a tick that is known to be the vector of Lyme disease in the eastern U.S., and it's normally found in along the East Coast up in New England and also in the upper Midwest. But in recent years, we've seen the population come into Ohio and actually has increased quite a bit in Ohio. And one thing I should say about this tick, with our other ticks in Ohio, we typically think of spring as tick season.
Oh, true.
With this tick, the season is year-round. Except for the coldest days, this tick can be active even in the wintertime.
The black-legged is the Lyme one. The one we more commonly see, though, what is that tick?
The one we would see most commonly is the American dog tick, and that one is found throughout Ohio. It's the most common one that you'll see on your pets, and it's the most common one that you'll pick up when you're in the park. So always when you go into the woods, think about protecting yourself.
Which means what? Like have clothes that cover your whole body?
Clothes that cover your body. There are some things that are recommended, like tucking in your socks. It's not exactly a good fashion statement, but it can be pretty effective at helping keep the ticks out from under your clothing. But I think, and you can also use repellents that are labeled for ticks, and there are products that you can put on your clothing, and we do recommend these for people who spend a lot of time outdoors. These are not repellents, they're actually pesticides, so you wouldn't put that on your skin. You would put them on clothing that you're going to be wearing outdoors. But really, the most important thing is when you return from outdoors, do a thorough tick check. And this is important for parents with their children playing out in these areas to do a thorough tick check, usually at bath time or whatever for young children. But you want to check and make sure that they don't have ticks on.
When you see a tick, how do you get it off?
You pull it off. You can use your fingers to get as close as you can to where it's attached and just pluck it off. No twisting, because twisting will more likely break the mouth parts off. If you have tweezers, that's ideal. Then you can just get really close.
But you don't burn it, you don't lather it with Vaseline, you don't do those things?
Right. A pair of tweezers like this will be ideal. You get as close as you can to where the tick is attached, and then just pull perpendicular and pluck it off.
Do you have to put antibiotic on it then, or?
You can put, like one of these Neosporin or something like that on the bite.
Keep an eye on it.
Yeah, and keep an eye on it, because there could be a secondary infection.
Save the tick?
Save the tick. I always recommend saving the tick, and maybe in a little bit of alcohol.
Now we got to talk real quickly about mosquitoes. Is this going to be a bad mosquito year?
It's hard to say with mosquitoes because, if we have flooding or something like that, in the short term, that could lead to bad mosquitoes. What we know so far is that we've had a very early spring, so mosquitoes have come out very early this year out of their winter hiding places. So we've been dealing with mosquito complaints since back in April. And so they're out and active. Whether they're going to be bad or not, that'll depend on more short-term weather as we go through the season.
Does the Zika scare, does it really apply to us here?
Well, we do have a mosquito in Ohio that could potentially transmit Zika, but what we've seen so far, we've only seen Zika. We've seen it in returning travelers from areas where Zika is being transmitted. We haven't seen our local mosquito pick it up and transmit it, but we are keeping an eye on it.
Well, it could be a long season. We think we have the information, though, to make sure that we are able to combat these little pests. We want to be outside and enjoying our summer for certain. And can we send them to the website to find out more information?
Absolutely. To the Ohio Department of Health's website, which is www.odh.ohio.gov.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm going to make sure that you take all your little critters back home with you. I don't want any of those with me, okay?
All right.